I am Savage Squishy 86, and this is our continuing live stream playthrough of Bloodborne. So, it seems we've had a bit of a pickle. I ran into an issue with, apparently, I had live streamed last night. This is originally supposed to be part 16 of this live stream playthrough. However, for whatever reason, my playthrough of this particular part of the stream did not take. So I'm not entirely sure what happened. I'm a bit perplexed as to what happened, but basically, I guess we're just gonna pick up where we left off. Last night, I pretty much was pursuing the live stream playthrough of the Fetid and Rothring Chalice dungeon of the Loran lower root Chalice dungeon. And it seems we ran into a problem with that. So essentially what I'm going to do is basically walk you through the sense of what happened to the best of my knowledge. We had a bit of a really tough stream. It pretty much goes without saying that the problems I ran into was that I had lost a significant number of echoes to several rather frustrating and agitating deaths, to say the least. And ever since the word, it basically was definitely discouraging to where I was very kind of having a hard time with it. So essentially it was a bit of a aggravating thing to have to go through, but it was something I couldn't really help. I ended the stream at a 3-hour and 45-minute mark, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it landed up on the live coverage. I'm making sure this time that we are live, which we are. So hopefully this will continue to provide the measure of coverage that we necessarily needed for that. But essentially, where we were was basically Rotted Alien Loran. As you can see, I played through a disproportionate amount of it. Down in the corner, you'll see the Chalice glyph for this particular dungeon is WBAKJEPU. So essentially, this Chalice dungeon essentially is, for all intents and purposes, a really hard one. There was a lot of hunters. Some of them were disproportionately powerful, namely run-ins with Canehurst Hunter Knights, a Bone Marrow Ash Hunter, as well as a couple of Keepers of the Old Lords, and also compounded by a overpoweredly ridiculous ass fight of the Queen Killer. I'm sure you're familiar with him, with being the hunter that is half-dressed with a Martyr Ligarius helmet on, armed with a cannon and a Ligarius wheel. But anyway, to make a long story short, we were struggling through this for about 3 hours on stream, and unfortunately it just didn't happen to where anything really kind of took off in that capacity, and I was rather frustrated. So all things considered, I pretty much got through a proportionate amount of it. I was really agitated by the time I got off stream, so we pretty much got into a scope of prevalence where we were actually able to play through it, but I did not finish it. As you can see, we're at Layer 4 now. I basically took on a number of bosses, including a Silver Beast, and a proportionate measure of other activities in regards to the overall play with any other future products especially. But we did find a few items of relevancy down there, so I will go ahead and show you those. Obviously, the number one thing we did manage to find down there was the Uncanny Beast Claw, which we do not have in our inventory. I actually put that away, but you will find it in this Chalice dungeon. We also got our hands on a new rune in the form of the Arcane Lake rune, I believe, or the Deep Lake. Yeah, the Great... No, it was... let's see, where is it? Bear with me a moment here. Yes, the Arcane... No. It was the Fading Deep. It was the Fading Lake rune. Now, the Fading Lake rune obviously gives us fire damage of level 7, as well as the lower class one, which is 5%, along with the on top of the 10%. So essentially, we did get something from this Chalice dungeon besides headaches and a lot of echoed losses. But in the sense, I am sorry I did not cover all of it. I will probably attempt to negate that, but I will probably not want to really do that, but I will definitely try right now, because I am actually quite upset that it didn't record and post that footage, which I have no explanation as to why it did that. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves situated with some resources, and we're just going to go through the measure of pretty much going through it and hopefully tackling it to the best of our ability. Obviously, you can see we have a lot of blood rune, we have a lot of moon runes, but in the interest of time and availability to actually accomplish this, we're going to go ahead and cut through the action with doing any kind of measure of rune protections. So we're going to go ahead and equip all damage reduction. We're basically just going to swap out a lot of these runes to gives us a little bit more in the way of protections, because clearly we really want that, especially with this particular encounter. This Chalice dungeon is very hard. I did not like doing it, but all things considered, we were lucky to get what we got, and the fact is you know, here we are pretty much having to go through this and get to this action here and now. So we're going to go about, we got all damage reduction. I think we really want, bear with me, I think I'll put on HP protections, and I'll do the vial recovery up in that capacity. So, and yeah, we'll go right into this and see if we can't rebound some of this otherwise rather absurd reasoning behind this. So now this is a very hard Chalice dungeon, so you will probably get killed here a couple times. I know I got killed here more than a couple times, and I lost probably an equivalent of 3 million echoes, give or take. So with any luck, hopefully that won't be a problem. And yeah, after we're done with this, we'll see about getting through the other Loran Chalice dungeons and finally get ourselves shoehorned into doing the Isu. So So right away from the start, obviously this was the first place where you start, and you'll have a first side area over here. We'll have our torch ready and our saw spear. Obviously this is mainly going to be a beast environment, with the exception of the many of hunters you will encounter, courtesy of the rotted offering of on this curse. So the payouts here is significantly less now because we are not going for echoes at this point. We're basically just going to go straight for easy takedowns. I'm not sweating farming echoes, so we're just going to be very careful about this. Obviously, this is one of the many many hunters you'll encounter, a Canehurst Knight, so we'll go ahead and dispatch him. Essentially, he'll throw numbing mist at you, so you want to avoid that. And then we're just gonna try to get him with an easy kill, which is exactly what we did. So once we get rid of that, over there in the distance, we will have a werewolf patrolling down there. So, but we have another hunter directly ahead of us. This is one of the more harder ones. This one will actually heal, provided you're actually able to not get the betterment of her attacks. So we want to use numbing mist, but we're going to make short work of her, because if she does try to do that, we'll have lead elixir to close the gap on her. As long as you close and are keeping the pressure on her, you really can get the kills on this woman pretty easy enough in itself. So bitch. It's a little frustrating because I actually did not think I was actually going to have to contend with that issue, but it seems like that was the case, and yeah, that's what we got. So we'll get there, and we'll definitely get through it. I'm just not really happy that we have to go about the measure of this. We pretty much tackle on all the bosses in the areas, so that is probably a saving grace in itself, that we can actually get through all the bosses without having to contend with any real measure of threats. Obviously, you'll get a lot of tempering blood gemstones here, as it goes without saying. We're not aiming for visceral attacks, we're just getting through this as fast as we can. I mean, if you wanted to go for a blood farming run, a blood echo farming run, you could pretty much equip a lot of your blood moons, some visceral, echoes for visceral attacks kind of runes, and get a lot out of that in that fashion. But in this particular instance, we're not going to do that. I've wasted a lot of time trying to do that the previous night. I am not going to repeat my mistake. I want to get through this and get on with the next stage of the Chalice dungeons, particular the Ailing, Loran, Lure, Root Chalice dungeon, as well as the Sinister Chalice dungeon. So we're going to head right over here past these. Obviously dispatch those enemies. We'll head into where the main gate is, and in here you will find a silver beast guarding a coffin. This is your main side area. I believe this is actually where we don't really engage much. We don't really find much in the way of materials yet until we get to the next stage of the fight. But essentially this is basically the early compensations of what you will likely run into. But we will take the blood vials off his body and then head back to the main chamber leading to our first Chalice dungeon boss. So we'll head out through one of these gates. I don't really know which one. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of labyrinthian, so you'll have to run around anyway. Obviously, it will take us down here, and then we will go to the left and find our way out. Last night I lost a lot of echoes. I was very agitated, very salty. I'm kind of glad I probably didn't post because that would have been embarrassing. And, yeah, so I don't really mind doing this over the more I think about it. So equip your torch to keep them at a distance, the beasts, and just pick them apart. Once we've dispatched the beasts here, we're going to head through, not the main gate, we're going to head over here and find more reward to our work. We have a lot more to gain in terms with being... Oop, okay. We're going to go ahead and equip our Saw Cleaver, stun him with fire. We actually have the luxury of that Radiance rune giving us the extra protections we need for dealing with threats. And dealing with threats we will. So, once we get dispatched the werewolf, we're going to head up the stairwell. Obviously, this is the path is where he was patrolling. And directly and to our right, we usually will have nightmares up here, but in this instance I've taken them all down. So you'll find a lot of nightmares in this Chalice dungeon, small and medium size. Medium sized ones don't really do much beyond the scope of just dropping you some echoes and maybe an occasional weapon blood gemstone, but you pretty much get that either or no matter where you're looking. So go ahead and approach, and we will visceral attack this enemy just to get him out of our way. I took the liberty of playing through a little bit off stream and getting a lot of my stats improved. So my health is up a little bit, my endurance is up a little bit, my skill, my arcane. I've raised the points proportionately pretty even across where I could. At this point now, though, leveling up your character even 1 point in a stat will be about 350,000 echoes. So you're pretty much reaching that point where you're really going to have to grind to get the amount of echoes you need to level up stats on your character. But I mainly wanted to raise my stat on arcane, skill, and health, because skill will basically enable me to deliver far heavy-hitting attacks with visceral attacks, and it will also enable me to provide a much more combative role with my vitality being the biggest thing that we can probably hope to really kind of overlap in that fashion. So in here, you will basically face either Silver Beast, I believe, and then basically the Chalice dungeon leading down further into this path, into the second layer. Now, considering there is going to be hunters relatively to every single layer of these Chalice dungeons is pretty much guaranteed with the rotted and fetid offerings. The fetid offering essentially creates an improved measure of elements of with enemies having certain status effects. But the Rotted Offering is what essentially basically puts in otherworldly enemies. So here we have hunters in this case, but in other cases it could be witches looking, the Eye Collector witches, or it could be Right Keepers. So you really kind of get a very kind of randomness of it to a sort of what you're probably going to be getting depending on what you do get with the Rotted Offering of the Chalice Dungeon. So, I mean, it is pretty evident in case of that. So, below us down here, there will be 2 werewolves. We will dispatch them when we come back. But our main goal is to get to the Silver Beast here in this room, which we will bait into attacking us, just like that, and get a visceral attack. Ironically, I was struggling to get visceral attacks the previous night because I was so agitated, and my focus was completely hampered because of it. So, but we're going to go ahead and equip our rope Molotov cocktails, and we're going to make cheese work of these 2 werewolves, so we won't have to really go down there and fight them. So what you're going to want to do is just drop a little bit. Oh, too late. We fell down here. Now we're in trouble. So, obviously our plan didn't work. So we'll just get rid of him. That was really irritating. Not at all what I intended. So, you know, but I hate that's kind of a risky take with that slope. There's no guarantee you'll land on it completely. Sometimes you'll land on it and you'll slide right off with like what just happened to me. So, but yeah, basically now we're gonna head into this layer over here where we will find another one of those bone ash hunters, and we're going to basically have ourselves equipped with fire paper and lead elixir, and essentially what we're going to do is we're just gonna hammer her ass with pressure until she breaks. So take the lead elixir, she will light her fire paper. And that's it. Essentially, I was trying so hard to get visceral attacks and to get easy echoes that I ultimately made my job a lot harder than it needed to be. So essentially, in this level of a Chalice dungeon, I would not see myself really farming here. Hunters are not necessarily the best of options. I mean, they are, but you have to be incredibly lucky to get the measure of protections afforded to you to get that far. So I don't think I would really try farming here quite just yet until my stats were maxed out in terms of vitality and, you know, perhaps getting some runes with damage resilience. And I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, we're still in the first stage playthrough, so we're still relatively raw. If we do New Game Plus playthroughs, we'll get more echoes, so that will be even more tempting, which we will likely do that instead. But once we get to the second layer, obviously the door entrance is going to be to our left, there's going to be a path to our right, and there's going to be a path forward here. Essentially what we would do is go right, but in this instance we have clerics, which are these demonic-looking mages with their fire. We're going to avoid him, and we're going to get to the upper level. First thing we're going to do is get rid of this goddamn ghoulie that's coming up and down these stairs with a fire on his side, because essentially he is a huge pain in the ass we want to get rid of. So we're going to get ourselves ready for him to come back up the stairs. We're going to get his attention. We're going to lead him away, and then we're going to deal with him. And that will be it for him. Let's go back to our saw spear, because we don't want the fire damage, we just want the saw damage for this asshole right here. Get him out of our way so we can actually move around this room in peace without him harassing us. But instead of going back the way we came, we're going to go out here on this balcony overlooking this courtyard below. Below us, you'll find a number of ghoulies, as well as a mad one right there. Originally, I actually lost 3 million echoes to the mad one and one of her damn ghoulies after I got killed by the Queen Killer Hunter. So, let's get rid of this clerk so he's not, you know, firebombing us from above. Then we're going to go over here to this balcony up here. Head through this passage here and take down the Silver Beast, since this is originally what our intended goal is. But we're not going to move on to the next area. We're going to wipe it out with the other enemies below. Basically, just get him set up and get a visceral attack on him and get him out of our way. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could put the other echoes on, because I'm pretty sure I am confident that I can actually do this pretty decent now, but I don't want to take that gamble. Essentially, that is far from what I want to do, because of the simple fact of the circumstances that I pretty much have encountered in the previous stream, which is no longer available to us. I am very pissed off about that. I don't know why that did not host. Unless it's probably because there were no viewers. I'm not sure. I don't know the whole in and outs of workings of the policies of this practice. So, bear with me a moment here. I'm going to post a comment to a question in my Discord. Come on. Okay. So just don't even worry about getting echoes at this point. Get them out of your way. Take them down. All of them. We're gonna walk real quiet like up behind the mad one here with our great holy sword. 1,000 points of damage, 180 to 2,000. That's almost 3,500 points of damage. Now what we'll do is we'll head around and down this corridor. Obviously we will have some beasts lying in wait down here for us. It's okay. The handy thing about the torch is it keeps them at bay without you being absolutely overwhelmed with a horde of them, maybe 6 or 7 at a time. As long as they're facing, as long as you have them in your front, not your sides or your rear. Otherwise it really won't really do you much good. You potentially can't get left around a bit. Motherfucker. And then with that, we will head through this passage, leading to our next hunter enemy, another one of those bone ash hunter chicks. So we're going to use blue elixir to get on her, get behind her. I'm not particularly fond of using this so much, but I know in the future we will definitely have plenty of insight to purchase more. And that's not including the new game pluses where we can actually get some from the neighboring enemies of the vicinities of the game's new game plus. So get a quick backstab on her. Equip your numbing mist and throw it on her so she can't heal. An easy visceral attack, and she's finished. So, equip your saw spear again, and immediately we will pursue this nightmare out here. Be careful with him, as he will potentially slap you with his goddamn tail and send you falling to your death. Proceed across the bridge, and we will encounter the dog protecting it, more or less. And then in here, we will have 2 paths. One will take us up, where we will have a werewolf in our line of sight and in our way, so we want to get rid of him. But then the other one will be down, which will take us to the hunter of the Queen Hunter, the Queen Killer Hunter. Essentially get this werewolf out of our way. And the Patient Beast. So now, I'm not particularly fond of fighting this asshole because I think he is dangerous. But the Queen Hunter, the Queen Killer Hunter, obviously, as it goes, is pretty much right there. He is equipped with a Ligarius wheel and a cannon. The biggest thing you need to worry yourself about is the cannon at a distance because it does a huge explosive damage impact. The second biggest thing, the number one bigger thing than that is pretty much the Ligarius wheel. Now, he does physical damage, but I think the biggest thing of a threat to him is basically arcane magic, as we know that the Ligarius wheel is an arcane weapon. So essentially what we're going to do is be very, very diligent about his mobility and not really try to parry him so much. We could probably try to, but I am not confident in that. So just to put extra measures of safety on my side, I'm going to take initiatives to put a blunderbuss on, and then I will walk in behind him, and hopefully this will go in our favor. Hopefully I will not get killed. I'm not confident. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Immediately equip, use fire paper, and Mister will attack him right from the jump. We're gonna go ahead and use some numbing mist on him though, before he gets up, so he can't use any healing. And there you go. I should be confident, but I'm really not because he has taken so much from me. He took like 3 million echoes from me in itself, and that was irritating as could be. So, but upon defeating him in here, we will have another path. In this path, we will have the essence of this enemy of another nightmare at the far end of this passage. We're going to go ahead and equip our Bone Marrow Ash and have it ready by putting on our Evelyn, and we're going to dispatch him just as soon as he tries to attack us with a shot. Easy kill, and then proceed into the next area, and in here we will encounter a number of ghoulies. Obviously there we have Madman's Knowledge. Essentially this is basically going to be an item in question. Over here we have another clerk. Now this is where we actually get the Uncanny Beast Claw. So once we dispatch the cleric, head over here, and you will get in its place Great One's Wisdom. Now, otherwise, instead of Great One's Wisdom, you would find the Uncanny Beast Claw. Places where you have found unique weapons or runes will be replaced by Great One's Wisdom. So essentially, we have actually found another prize for pretty much returning to this location. You can pretty much do this one time. So if you found, say, a unique weapon like the Lost Chikaje or the Uncanny Hunter Axe, you would basically get another reward in the form of either a Kin Cold Blood, Great One's Cold Blood, Great One's Wisdom, Madman's Knowledge. You would get something else in place of that weapon or that rune if you have them in your possession already. So pretty much it goes without saying that you could pretty much come back here a second time, which is kind of important not to really remove Chalice dungeons right away, especially after you've completed them, because you very well could go back down there into that Chalice dungeon and find another item. Obviously, you would have to get to that very spot where you found that item, but it is entirely to your to your preference. If it's your idea to go forward and do that, then by all means, feel free. But I am actually not aware you could do that until just now. So, that being said, I learned something new, and now, by extension, so have you. So now we're back where we actually took down that one hunter, the Bone Ash Hunter, and we're going to head back to the main corridor and this main chamber. Oh, we got a blood licker, so let's break off contact. Let's let her go back to what she was doing. Easy echoes for us if we're lucky, so we'll approach from the rear and we will get an easy takedown on her. So now we'll head back out the way we came through this passage here and head directly straight ahead with our next Chalice dungeon lair. No side area in this vicinity, so that is good. But I believe we have one beyond the next area. Now here is where we fought the Keeper of the Old Lords. So you will encounter that boss here. After dispatching him, we will take the ladder down to an elevator, which will take us even further down. Obviously, we want to call it. Entering the next Chalice dungeon lair of level 3, we will have an immediate entry point over here. Several enemies will potentially die because they constantly seem to be getting dropped. Oh, hello dear. Welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you dropped in. I did this last night, but I fucking didn't post. So I'm doing it again. So, but it's kind of good it didn't post because I lost a lot of echoes. I lost like 3 million echoes, so I lost a huge ton of it. So I'm basically running this again for a guide to other players. Down below us, obviously, we will see there is another old hunter there, as well as multiple beasts, including 2 man-eating pigs. So we're going to go ahead over here and immediately try to get rid of them. Once we get rid of that pig, we'll rush over here, we'll get rid of this pig. And once we've dispatched that pig, we can focus our attention. Big? Tasty? What were you going to say, dear? So once we get to this point, we're just going to get these guys' attention. I want to lure them away. I want to take on the... They're kind of a... They kind of are a bit squirrely in their own nature. So right where we're going to take out some of these other ones and basically just get their attention. I don't want to engage the hunter plus the beasts. I want my freedom ability to take her on indiscriminately. So right there, we pretty much got that. And now we're going to go ahead and drink our blood elixir, our blue elixir, and get the drop on this little witch here behind her. We're going to walk slow like, because if we move too fast, she'll see us moving. So we want to do this slow. And then we will have our numbing mist ready. We'll hit her with a heavy attack, a visceral attack, and then hit her with some numbing mist. Gotta have it because this bitch is nasty. Will you fucking... Oh my god, you see what I'm talking about? Ooh, boy, that girl gonna get under my skin. So right there, we pretty much got rid of her. She's out of the equation. We have a tunnel here to our left. I believe this will take us to another hunter. I'm not sure, so we're going to proceed this with caution. Okay, we have a keeper of the old lords and his dogs, so we're going to want to deal with them with some reverse Molotovs. Lead them away. Have them chase you. That's a boy. That's a boy. Oh, I wasted the numbing mist. That's stupid. Where you going? Yep, these guys, we're dealing with these things again. You always get rotted offerings tend to give you a bit of both, but in this particular instance, we got to deal with this little asshole. Here we have a werewolf as well, so we're going to get rid of the werewolf. With that werewolf being dispatched, we'll go ahead and... Come on. I'm not interested in echoes at this point. I just want to get out of here and get through this. I think I personally would prefer fighting the werewolves because the dogs are aggressive to them, but they also have magic. I don't think I would say I would ever want to fight a werewolf, but in this particular instance, I would have to say that the huntsman hounds are worse than the werewolves because the huntsman hounds have an element of magic to them, but they're also on a level of aggression that is a lot faster. Werewolves are rather slow. You'd think they would be a lot more faster, but they're just much more predictable. But the dogs are not very predictable. They're actually very unpredictable. They can catch you with attacks very easily and in such a way that it makes it very hard to counter them. So, now that we've pretty much dealt with the old hunter and his hounds, we'll head over here. This will take us into another Chalice dungeon extension, if you will. Immediately we'll have our torch equipped to keep these beast patients at bay. Here we have another two werewolves. One is actually patrolling around the room. The other one is in the center of the room. We'll go ahead and dispatch this one first. Easy work. And then another werewolf taken down. After these encountered with the werewolves, we're going to be heading through here. This will take us to another cavernous area. Obviously, we can hear there is another one of those nightmares, so we're going to have our bone marrow ash ready to deliver a quick shot to kill it. Oh, we missed it. That time we did miss. So after taking down the nightmare, we'll head across the bridge. And then carefully over this wood paneling to this next passage. Have your torch equipped in case we're ambushed by hunters, or in this case, beast patients that are hidden in the shadows. And then in here, we will have, I believe... phantoms. So we need to move. We need to get rid of this bitch with the bell. Easy work. No more phantoms. Get some blood bullets and heal. And the quicksilver bullet she drops us. So that takes care of the phantoms and the witch. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a hunter in this area, I remember correctly. So in this passage that we just entered, this cavern, this entrance of this room, over here we ignored this passage. This passage will take us into another cavernous room. And we actually have a patient, not a patient, a ghoulie somewhere. I can hear footsteps. That would be the night. That would probably be the hunter that hears us. So we pretty much know. I could say that there is actually a Canehurst hunter down there. So what we're going to do is essentially get ourselves a flaming paper. And then we will get our holy blade out and go to work on him with that. So have our flame paper ready. We want to take a scout of the area if we can see. It's rather dark in here, so we can't really see very good. But there we can see right there on the right, there's our Canehurst hunter. So we will go ahead and equip our flame paper and immediately engage with a backstab. And that's it. I don't know if there's another hunter in here. We're going to take a look. I don't think so. I think that's really the only one we're going to have. Yeah, you can, with flame paper, you can imbue your weapon with 30 seconds of fire damage. So it's a handy little tool. But if it has arcane stats on the weapon, you cannot imbue it, because technically it already has elemental damage with arcane. So upon dispatching that hunter, we'll make our way out through the passage we just came through. Essentially, this is really just an extended area of the Chalice dungeon itself, so there's not really anything to be gained here, with the exception of just easy materials that you can acquire. Below us, though... Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I take that back. I think, actually, that takes us to that area, so no, I misspoke. Correct me. Sorry. We'll double back. Obviously, we took down the hunter. The Canehurst hunter. So what we will do now is head pretty much about the opposite direction. Obviously, we took down the Canehurst hunter in this room. So our next exit will be this room right here, leading to the bridge. Now, I am not very fond of this idea of attacking a silver beast on this rickety goddamn bridge. So we're going to do this a bit differently. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves some bone marrow ash and immediately run past him and let him follow us if he dares. Okay, guy, you want to show off showing off with... I didn't join the circus. I'm not interested in circus acts. Take care of the silver beast. Grab the blood vials that he drops. And then over here, we have another Canehurst hunter. Not a Canehurst hunter, but a keeper of the old lords. And dispatch him and send him packing. Get some blood bullets and some healing. He will drop us some blood vials here. I believe you will find the Fading Lake rune. Let me pull that up real quick. So here you will find the Fading Lake rune, the middle one. Obviously, this one is the 5%. This would be the 7%. So this particular area, you will find the Fading Lake rune. I have already been back to this area when I was doing my farming, and I found also the Madman's Knowledge, or the Great One's Insight. So that will be here as well, if you find the rune before then. Now, we will make our way back. Now we will make our way out this other area. I actually think I may try to farm this a little bit more off stream, because this is a ripe place for getting a lot of blood echoes, and if I need to get myself stronger, this at present would probably be my best option to really farm for good quality blood echoes. 2 blood moon runes, and maybe if I'm lucky and I could find the level 3 visceral attack rune, that would be even better, because then I could get 100,000 maybe of echoes from every single kill of a hunter that I encounter, provided I'm able to kill them with a visceral attack. But that is that's really kind of a hit or miss on the scale of subject with success. So we'll have to see. But as soon as we descend that ladder, we're going to go catty corner across from the corridor and into this cavern. Have your torch ready. We can see those beast patients in this hall. And here, right ahead, we can find right away we have pendulums. This is pretty much evident to the fact of those enemies that died earlier when we got to this part of the tunnel. So we're just going to run on through and head into the next stage of our fight with this vicinity. We'll get rid of the cleric, the church cleric. Son of a bitch. So once we dispatched of that threat, we will obviously pull the lever, and then we will make our way out. You can pretty much go back that way, or you could just simply drop down here and get to work on taking down your next threat with this ghoulie with his little bell lantern thing. And then make your way out through this little entrance, which obviously was directly across from us, but that's okay, doesn't really matter. But now we actually have the gate open, and we can head on into the next area. So we're making good time. We actually made a good number of echoes. Actually, if we keep this up, we may actually even go so far as to make enough to make 2 levels, because it's about 350, 360, so we're about halfway there. At this point, this Chalice dungeon boss will be the abhorrent beast, the werewolf gorilla lightning rod enemy that we encountered in the Forbidden Woods that has now become a boss in the Chalice dungeons. This will lead us to another path of a 4th layer to the Chalice dungeon. And we will head down the ladder, down the elevator, into the next Chalice dungeon layer. But before we get to the 4th layer, we will have a side area to our left. We'll go ahead and take our liberties of exploring that. Get the dog out of our way. And then proceed down the cavern into this next area. I do not recall what is down here. I believe there may be a hunter. I'm not sure. But we will figure that out as we go there. No swimming. No. I am in no mood for swimming. I lost my ass. I lost 4 million echoes. To me, that had me so in a bad mood. I actually was kind of wishing it was swimming. I kind of wish I was swimming. I would have drowned my character. Here we have another ghoulie with a fetid offering rite, basically empowering him. Dispatching him, we will get rid of him. And then we will enter this area. And then there will be a passage further along in the back with more ghoulies. And then obviously a patient beast at the far corner, far back of this corridor. Just have some fun with it. Do a visceral attack. And then we will be in this cavernous area here. And directly where we will find a room passage and a silver beast. Two silver beasts is back. One is right there, and then another one is basically sitting right here on the floor, probably contemplating his life choices. So we'll get rid of him with a backstab, get him out of our way. Grab the fire damp blood gemstone that he drops. And then here we will find another coffin. Obviously, this will entail to another rune element we have, but essentially we will have nothing really to worry about there. Basically, he knows that we're here. We're basically just leading him around. I changed my clothes. I figured you would say something. So we'll go ahead and visceral attack him and get him out of our way. And we'll get the Great One's Wisdom, which is another element of an item we have actually acquired here. So, but pretty much we can re-explore these and get easy, Great One's Wisdom, and proceed onward with the next stage of our fight. So, heading back into the main chamber. Yeah, I changed them when I was on the elevator because I figured you were going to say something smart since you said something about the water. I beat you to it. We'll take the elevator up. I see you. I know you just stuck your tongue out at me like, So it's okay. And then here we will have another werewolf. Get rid of him with a visceral attack. And get some blood bullets. Heal. Here you'll find a chest with some ritual materials. Everything from Bastard of Loran to anything you would. So once we get that, we'll pretty much come up to this upper passage of this upper area that we can pretty much say, obviously this is pretty much where we were up and over in this area. And then here we'll find another ghoulie, and that's really all there is up here. There's not really much else up here, so we can head out back to the main chamber. Navigate your way through this tunnel. And then find your way to the other tunnel, leading you back to the stairwell. And then back down to the end of this room, and then up the stairs and out the side area. And then we can finally, ever so sweetly and greatly, move on to Chalice Dungeon number 4. Now, as soon as I got to this point, I was already pretty irritated, and I really just wanted to get off it, so I immediately called the ball. It was like, yeah, I'm done. That's it. I've had my fill. As soon as I saw it here, because as you see, you get in here, you've got several patient beasts, and you also got another Keeper of the Old Lords, as well as his old hounds. So essentially, we're going to be taking our leave to basically get this pretty much taken care of in this fashion. Weirdly, that should have engaged me, but apparently not. Obviously, we'll engage those enemies further, but I want to explore this passage here, directly to our left. And inside we'll find a number of patient beasts. multiple rats. 2 rats down here at the base of these stairs, it seems. And then we'll proceed carefully inside. We have multiple blood gels. We have a chest. So we'll go ahead and get these blood gels to drop. Switch to our saw cleaver for the fire elemental damage. A few with the stones of that. And proceed with taking up the pebbles that it drops. Get the chest open. Looks like that is going to be our destination where we will find our key, our lever to lead our way out of this room. So he will drop some oil urns. Heading into this room, we will obviously have some ghoulies here. We have quicksilver bullets. Yeah, blood gels are basically just a compilement of blood that is basically taking a sort of deathly kind of essence to it. So essentially that's really all they are. Quicksilver bullets on the body. More quicksilver bullets. More punching cocktails. More tomb mold. Here we have a parasitic affected silver beast. We'll get rid of him. And then open the blood vials. More ritual blood. More pungent blood cocktail. And then we're going to go ahead and pull the lever, and then that'll open the path forward. Before we get into that, we're going to finish our continuing exploration of this particular Chalice dungeon. Obviously, we heard some enemies get killed, so clearly somebody tried to cross that path and didn't make it. And it seems like it was this one right here. So head up the stairs and back into the main chamber of the entry to this dungeon. We're going to go ahead and get rid of these dogs, though. Matter of fact, we'll equip our saw spear and get their attention. Oh, it's okay. By all means, dear, I'll be here for a little while. Go for it. I'll see you later. Thank you for stopping by. God damn you. We'll drop the dog, and he will drop us some bloodstone shards, twin bloodstone shards. Later, dear. And we'll go ahead and take it down the patient beast. And then we'll get this one's attention. And that'll take care of him. Now it's just time for this boy. I want to try to catch him in an attack where I can actually get him when he goes to swoop in with a sword attack. Like that. Obviously he got me, but I could easily recover my health after doing a visceral attack, because I have the rally of that power. So we'll get 2 blood vials off of him, and then we'll open ourselves to killing this other werewolf, which we'll go ahead and do right now. And that werewolf will be down. He'll drop us some blood vials. Let's take this ladder that is up above us and see where this takes us. Ah, it looks like we have a hidden path. So, immediately exposing the hidden path here, we'll head through this passage. And out here on the balcony that we ran there through will be a chest. Inside the chest will be some ritual blood level 8. Now run back and descend the ladder. Then heading further along this passage, we will have a path to the left. This will take us to the pendulum room. which we were originally navigating through. We're gonna run through partly, grab the Ritual Blood level 3 off of that one. Level 5, 3 materials, I should say, excuse me. Oh! Oh! Damn it! I didn't see that! It just quiet. That was just so quiet. It was so quiet, it just dropped right down on top of me and just immediately fucking fucked me up. Oh, that sucks. I didn't see that. What a dick move. That was so dickheadish. I can't believe they did that to me. It's okay. We're basically pretty much at the Chalice dungeon level 1 now, so we'll have to bounce out and head to level 4 just to get that, because I'm not going to run that whole thing back. Oh, that was so sick. I didn't even hear that thing coming. So, hey, it's alright. It is what it is. So we'll go ahead and get right into Lair 4 and go get our echoes back. Because I am not leaving those. I lost too many as it is. But for me to lose it like that, that was just sick. I can't believe they pulled that on me. That was just that was dickheadish software. That was dickheadish. How dare you do that to me? You fuck. So let's go ahead and get our stuff back. We're gonna have to do this thing pretty diligently like we did before. I'll get the dog's attention. As long as I can catch him in overlapping attacks, I can pretty easily intercept the dog before he's able to do any real lasting damage. I'm on a mission, bro. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, not happening. I'll waste the goddamn fire paper for that. I am not getting killed by you again like that. Werewolf, you're next. They got a maxed out level of blood vials. And now we have Right Keepers. So now we have the measures of this issue with Right Keepers. These essentially are enemies that will empower them with magic and essentially make them even greater in threat. So we need to be very careful. Essentially, we're so used to seeing right keepers basically, on the ground mingling around, but they're actually really tall, chicken-legged women that apparently can actually walk around and do that sort of shit. So, that being said, though, we got our echoes back, and we found a new reward, so we essentially are pretty much well and truly on our way. And now we will just make our way out of this area. We'll get a couple more blood vials for our trouble. Or blood echoes in this case, excuse me. By getting rid of these enemies here. And now we'll get through these rats and these beast enemies here. And I think this will pretty much wrap up this particular area. Oh, we got more blood vials that he dropped. Unfortunately, we don't have enough room for them. We actually are maxed out. We maxed out on blood vials, and here we have another old hunter. So we're gonna go ahead and take advantage of getting this one. So we'll move to her rear. Well, actually, she's not facing our rear. She's actually facing over there. So we'll go ahead and get her with numbing mist. Do we have it equipped? We do. So let's get her. Damn you. I've had enough of you, sweetheart. So once we've dispatched that little witch, now I can think we can safely say we can move on. So let's go ahead and do that. Before we do that, let's go down there and get those blood vials we initially couldn't grab. Just the one, but it's enough. Head over here, and the gate that we originally opened will be free and clear to us now. I don't know if we have a side area, and it does not look like it, so I will take it. And then we will head down, hopefully, to the fourth and final Chalice dungeon lair. So ready yourself and let's see who we're facing. Looks like the Thumerian Elder. We're going to go ahead and equip our rifle spear. So after we get him to half his health, he'll enter his arcane magic stage. Essentially, we just want to catch him with the rifle spear's gun blast just before he attacks, so that we can get him with an easy visceral attack. Provided we're actually lucky enough to get the shot. Like that. Unfortunately, we shot twice. But not that time. And that'll be it for him. And I believe that will conclude this Chalice Dungeon lair. And then with it, we will get a cold, damp blood gemstone, which will conclude this particular Chalice Dungeon. So, we got through that nonsense, which was definitely nonsense, because I lost a lot of echoes doing this dungeon, so I'm glad we got through it, so... So, after we pretty much move our way into that consensus of that measure, we'll go about the instance of upgrading our power, at least a little bit.
Welcome. What is... Very well, then.
So pretty much at this point, you're only getting really 10 points per everything you put in. So we're going to go ahead and get our skill up to 45. We're going to get our blood tinge up to 32, to 37 I mean, and then basically go from there. And go, and just basically go on that measure. We'll go ahead and see about changing our runes though. See if we can't get a little bit of clout to our credit for doing what we did. And by doing so, we're going to definitely see about getting some echoes back that we can actually put to use with whatever we decide to do going forward. So go ahead and equip the necessity of runes that you want to run with. And then when we're done with that, we're going to do... I really want to do the Rotted Alien Loran Chalice Dungeon, so... But after that business with the fucking hunters, I don't sure really want to. So we're just gonna go ahead with the Sinister Chalice Dungeon, the Sinister Loran Chalice Dungeon. And then right from the start, we're just gonna light the lantern and hit the ground running. With our first major side area directly ahead of it. And a rat in our path. So as soon as we get there, we will have a werewolf in our path. Let's get his attention. And some easy echoes. 21,000. A chest directly in front of us as well. Go ahead and open that up. And inside we'll find some ritual blood. Let's switch our weapon. We'll stick with the saw spear for right now. I definitely just want to get that measure of security. We'll get rid of some of these. We'll do some damage to some of these rats. It's 2 down. We'll go ahead and get some easy 2 mold from them. And then we'll just explore the back ends of this dungeon's lower levels. Obviously, watch out for the trap, destroy that. And then we will have a Quicksilver bullets. And then over here, amidst these boxes, blood vials. And we will head back the way we came. To the main chamber, the main circular chamber, if you will. That will probably take us up to where that little overhanging path is located. Grab the shining coins off the body and then open the door. This will take us to that passage. On the right, more blood vials, which we don't need. But down here, we will have a hidden chamber with a alien Loran boss, Silver Beast. I mean, excuse me. Go ahead and easy work him. More blood vials we can't grab. Come on, open the damn door. When you're doing too good of a job with blood vials. But inside we'll find a bolt damp blood gem, and then over here several chests on the left and possibly right side of the rooms. We'll go ahead and open them and get some ritual materials in the form of ritual blood level 5. On the right side of the room we have a chest here, and over just this one here. Open this up, and inside what will we find? We will find ritual blood. Of course we will. Still needing the red jelly material to make Chalice Dungeon for the Great Ill Chalice Dungeon, so we'll see about getting that eventually. And then we will make our way in to the next major area of the first Chalice Dungeon lair. Go ahead and light the lantern. Path is to our left, but to be sure, let's make sure there's no hidden paths here, so check the walls. And it looks like we got a main gate to our right front, and it doesn't look like anything else of surprises in the area surrounding us. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take care to... Oh, the Sinister Bell woman is close. She may be in the next area, so we're going to intercept her. Bone Marrow Ash for the bullet. For this one, for a Fire Damp Blood Gem, level 6. Perfect. Directly ahead of us, a Nightmare. Intercept him. On the body, Shining Coins. Fire Damp Blood Gemstone on the Nightmare. Go ahead and Visceral attack the werewolf, get him out of our way. As well as a Tempering Damp Blood Gemstone dropped by him. Oil urns. Inside here, we will find the bell ringing woman. And with her dispatched, there is no more ringing. We'll get the oil urns and some quicksilver bullets from the body. And then we will head down on this path leading across the upper chasm of this area to a door. Likely leading to the gate key and lever. And which it has. Intercept him, and a visceral attack. For 20,000 echoes, a Tempering Damp Blood Gem is our reward, as well as the access to the lever for the next Chalice Dungeon lair. Shining Coins on the body to the left, and more on the right. Reverse that, if depending on how you enter the room. Either or, you find Shining Coins. So after we return to the main chamber, we're going to open up the gate leading to our first boss, but I think we'll have a side area ahead of us. I'm pretty much expecting it at this point. Which doesn't look like we have one. Wow, that's surprising. So let's get down to business. Climb the ladder at the far end of the path and ascend to your first boss fight in this dungeon. And it will be a beast-possessed soul. Rush forward, and immediately engage. Soften them up. Come on, boy. And that is all she wrote for that boy. And with him, we have gotten our hands on the 169 blood gems, as well as a fire damp blood gemstone level 6 and 2 bloodstone chunks. So what is to be, light the lantern and proceed with your descent. And then heading through into Lower Loran, Chalice Dungeon Layer 2. No side area to be spoken of as of yet, which is good. Less work for us, more time shaved off. And we have a sinister bell ringing woman somewhere nearby. Gate out is to our left. So we have a door to our front. Let's explore the room to our right. Immediately we will find that there is actually a patient. We actually got that fucking... We actually almost killed that enemy. This is why I'm not really keen on the weapon of the... Sometimes I'm not very keen on the weapon of the Evelyn, because of this very reason, where it just seems like it goes up and over their head. It's very frustrating. So we're going to change that. I think I'm going to go with the Hunter Blunderbuss. Obviously we can hear a bell ringing woman close by, so we'll be careful with her. She's obviously summoning little bugs, little phantoms to do her work. So we'll sleep in here and instantly kill the madman in front of us. By dispatching her, we got 35,000 echoes, a murky damp blood gem, opening up the chest to her right she was sitting by. We'll get blooming cold blood flower. Now, I could go forward. I'm not going to do that because I can hear them above us, and I don't like the sound of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to that other door, and I believe what we will encounter is the bell-ringing woman is essentially up right there. There we go. So we'll get those two little bugs out of our... Obviously, we got bell-ringing women here pretty much doing their business. Get rid of one. We got multiple bell-ringing women, so we want to be careful. and that will take care of her, and she will drop us 2 quicksilver bullets for the trouble. Now, upon dispatching her, we'll be free and clear to open up the door, leading us to the upper area, which is good, because I definitely want to get rid of whatever threats that are up here, because I heard one of them throwing Molotovs, so I definitely don't want to be caught up in that nonsense. This is pretty much going to take us to the room over the room we were pretty much just in. Nothing here. So here is our ghoulie friend who is throwing those Molotovs, so we'll get rid of him with a visceral attack. 11,000 echoes. Here, do we have a hidden path? No hidden path. Okay. That's good. Instantly parried him with a blunderbuss shot. Shorter enemies are kind of easier to parry than with the blunderbuss than they are with the Evelyn. I think the Evelyn goes right up and over their heads, so I can sort of see where it is a good weapon for tall enemies, but not very good with ones with shorter statures. Matter of fact, what I could probably do is go right for my. This is pretty equivalent to a blunderbuss shot, so I probably could roll with this. I'll use my rifle spear with its gun. Ah, he killed me. Damn it. I knew I should have broke off. That was stupid. I should have broke off and immediately healed, but I didn't. That was stupid. I thought I could intercept his attack before he got me. Lesson learned. Keep your health high. Now we have to contend with the issue of the little bitches and their bell ringing powers. So let's get in there and get to them before they get to us. Oh, we see a chest here we missed. Few quicksilver bullets. I wish the lantern was a little brighter, don't you? And in this chest we'll find a Bastard of Loran offering. So let's head back the way we came and get about taking care of those other threats. First we'll deal with the patient beast. Sometimes these particular patient beasts are kind of hard to get a direct hit on because they're very unpredictable. It's telegraphing those particular patient beasts are very difficult because there's a subtle delay before they execute their attack. There's the wind up, and with the wind up, there's a bit of a delay. So I'm not going to be totally bummed about it, but it is a bit irritating because I could very well get him if I really worked on it. Didn't get the visceral attack, but I don't care. 25,000 is 25,000, but we did get some sage hair. So that's more ritual materials for our next Chalice dungeon offering. Now we'll head back. A lot of running back and forth going on here. And go back up here where we will get to the other little enemies up in here. One is pretty much not here. He's going to be over here. visceral attack. 11,000 echoes. And another 11,000 echoes. We'll go ahead and... Oh, he's got our echoes right there. Give us our echoes, buddy. Like them back, please. Thank you. I'll take this. Silver Beast taken down. We now have our echoes back. And 2 blood vials on his body. Go ahead and pull that lever. Now we'll go over here. We'll grab the Quicksilver bullets. As well as the blood vials. And then we will proceed to our right. Where we have enemies below or above us. This obviously will take us down the path we want to go. So we'll pretty much go down here and make our way out. I don't really want to go through the gate yet. I want to explore the other half of the area now that we've taken care of those ghoulies that were basically overseeing the area from above. We don't have to worry about too much of them being a threat. Now we'll basically take our time with dispatching these other ghoul enemies in the form of this right here, as well as the next one. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and get our rifle spear handy and just do that. Hey, numbnuts, over here. Parry. Visceral. Entering this chamber, leading to the back. May not lead to anything, but it's worth checking out just to be sure. I often find it is going to be a dead end, but there have been instances where I found chests at the end of this chalice, at these particular passages. So when in doubt, check it out. Another visceral. Another 11,000 echoes, I bet. Yep. And this one will probably be 9,000. I'm guessing the hooded ones are 9,000, and the silver and the hoodless ones are 11,000. Yep, so pretty close. Grab the blood vials off those respective bodies, and then in here there will be a path leading deeper into the dungeon. That time we actually didn't have the issue with getting a shot on him point blank, so that was actually pretty good. But we got 14,000 echoes. Keeping my eyes peeled, and that's why, because lo and behold, there's one right there waiting for us. Finally, dick. Another 14,000 echoes. And some blood vials. And it looks like we got a hidden passage. Door leading to a new area. Side area? Maybe? God damn it. Motherfuckers. Now I'm annoyed. It was so simple. I mean, why can't and that's the thing I hate about the patient beasts. They just come at you, they swarm you like fucking those bugs, those phantom bugs. You know what I mean? They just swarm you. I mean, it's my own fault because I got greedy, but it's like, come on. I mean, just follow the fucking programming. You fucking attack. I parry. It's not that simple. It's not that hard. It's just a matter of them making it harder than it needs to be. Of course, it doesn't help. It's fucking dark as shit in this room. Welcome back, dear. I just died. I'm getting my echoes back. I'm just gonna fuck these guys up and get them out of my way so I can get down there and get my stuff. So frustrating. It really is. Trying to be cute, they are. They're trying to be cute. They're trying to be. They got me. They got me. Like maybe not like 30 seconds before you came back. They killed me because they swarmed me, and I was trying to get them separated enough to where I could kill them. Which I mean, that was originally what I was trying to do, but they ended up swarming me, and they ended up beating my ass. So now I'm having to go back and get my echoes. But there's actually another passage extending this chamber, so I guess we'll see where it takes me first. I got hair there. Come here, jerk off. So this was originally the path that I was on, and my echoes are right there, thankfully. What I really want those beast patients to do is that wind-up attack where they raise their head to half like they're going to slash you down, but they're not doing it. They're like literally purposely not doing it, but they're like pragmatically common to doing it, but now suddenly because I want them to do it, they're not doing it. So I'm just going to have to dial back my attempts to get any real measure of echoes that I really want to get. Because clearly it's too damn dark, I can't see what I'm doing, and these guys are clearly not telegraphing what I want them to do. Now that worked, that time. I mean, 14,000 echoes per beast, and I have to take a bath for them because ultimately they don't want to do the thing that I need them to do. So we got those echoes. So let's see what else we find down here. Sounds like we got a nightmare. Sounds like he's right below me, so... I see rats in that tunnel below. That's 11,000 echoes for that little mongoloid. The sinister bell ringing woman is in this area, so she's got to be right below us or above us, because here we have a path taking us up and down. So first we're going to go up. Yep, this is where she is, so we'll get her. Oh, no, she's not above us. She may be down below us. Where the hell is she? Like she's right next to me, practically. Ah, there she is. She's tried. They're very subtle with how they hide. You know, it's like they're hiding without really hiding, if that makes sense. So dispatching those enemies there. We have another rat here. Looks like 2 rats. What is that? Oh, it's a beast hunter. It's Beast Hunter Yosef. He tried to kill me there. He got close. Nope. Die, asshole. What'd you give me? 60,000 echoes just for killing that prick. That was good. Here we got King Coldblood. We got a nightmare in the back. With a tempering damp blood gemstone. Quicksilver bullets, I know, that's the kind of payout you want. 60,000, 70,000 echoes. Those are usually the best payouts. I think eventually at some point I'll start getting payouts if I do like really a tough Chalice dungeon with sinister, rotted, and fet offerings. I'll get hunters. If I'm lucky, I'll get hunters that are worth 120, 130,000 echoes. And it'll only go up with New Game Plus 1, 2, 3, etc. Oh, wait a minute. Looks like we got another path we can go down, so I actually should double back. Pretty evident that was the goal. Over here, it looks like this is our way out. Better have some bone marrow ash though, because I definitely do not like engaging nightmares on really precarious cliffs like this. So I'll equip my bone marrow ash and shoot this nightmare. He just gave me echoes. No shards though. There's another nightmare. Looks like this may be a side area. Or it could be an expansion. I'm not sure, so either way, we'll explore it. Oh! We got a clerk. We have a cleric. I really wanted to get him with a visceral attack, but I'm not screwing around with him, so open up the coffin, and inside we will find the Uncanny Blade of Mercy. So we got a new weapon, which is great. But you know what? I'm going to take it even a step further. I'm going to see if maybe we can get lucky and get Madman's knowledge to port in its place. So we're going to exit out, and we're going to see if we can force the game to give us some Madman's insight or Great One's insight. That's essentially what we want. If we get a weapon there, we can find something else. I know, it's good that you find those things, though, because then you can actually reduce... You don't really have to navigate them for just the weapons. Essentially, some of the most powerful weapons in the game are in the hardest dungeons. So to find that is a real, real boon. So I'm very happy about finding that. Ah, it worked. Great One's insight. So now we have even more insight. So that's a great fucking tack. I need to put a note in my phone for that because that is awesome. Now we've got 10 insight. We just doubled it up. We had 10. We had like 14 insight. We just doubled it up to 20. Wow, what a nice little exploit to discover. That is an awesome team. So obviously we've come back to this path, and we're going to want to make our way out, which is going to take us back up the stairwell and then directly out the navigating path to this next area. We don't really have we don't have access to the Sinister Bell woman yet. She's still in this area, but we don't have access to her yet per se. We need to get to the next chamber area entry. So instead of entering here, our main path is going to take us... Obviously, this is a side area. So essentially, we'll just make our way out to this area here. And then there's the gate leading to our next area. So it just it's a lot of memory work to basically correlate your where you're going, where you need to go, blah blah blah. And then now we'll head to our next Chalice Dungeon Lair boss. I'm hearing lightning. I'm hearing a beast, so we may have an abhorrent beast in our path. So let's get a flame sprayer ready. Let's get our saw spear ready. Let's get our fire paper ready. And some poison knives. He's very vulnerable to poison knives, so right away we'll throw him one with those. Oh no, it's not! Oh shit! Okay, nope, it's not a abhorrent beast. It's actually going to be a... Oh man, I gotta put my outfit on. Put on my white church outfit for poison protection. Get medicine. This is not easy to do. Alright, so we need, we're also gonna need, pungent blood cocktail. So let's get this asshole off our case for a minute. Throw a cocktail. That'll take care of him over there. Easy to backstab. Opportunity. Another backstab opportunity. Alright, so we got him pretty much. He's in an animation where he's like kind of frozen. So we'll use the opportunity to get some oil urn and a Molotov. We don't have any Molotovs, but we'll just hit him with the oil urn instead. Yeesh. Oh, she's nasty. That point is usually where you want to use her aggression against her. If you can parry her, you can actually get a good kill on her. Now we'll wait for her to attack. Come on, baby. Bring home the bacon. Goodbye. I thought for sure that was going to be an abhorrent beast. I did not expect it to be a blood-starved beast, so I kind of... But that's the thing. You think you know what kind of boss you're going to be facing if you hear it, and you really fucking don't. And then it fucking screws you, and you almost get killed doing it. Thankfully, I managed to... Thankfully, I managed to get the right outfit on in time to where I wasn't going to get killed. But yeah, that was hairy. That was really hairy. I'm glad I got through that. That got my heart beating a bit. So now that we've beaten that boss, we can go ahead into the next Chalice dungeon. But before we get down there, I'm gonna actually keep... well, actually, fuck it. We'll go down to the next Chalice dungeon. We still got some blood vials. We still got some quicksilver bullets. We got some blood bullets. So I'm pretty sure, I'm confident we can recoup some of our resources with the next area. So let's keep moving. As soon as you get off the elevator, though, you'll have a side area to your left. We're in sinister Lower Loran Chalice Dungeon, Lair 3. Ah, what the fuck? That was a mess up. That would have been easy echoes. I'm gonna go with the Hunter Pistol. I think the Hunter Pistol is more appropriate for getting those visceral attacks. Over here on the left, though, as soon as you enter the room, you'll have a chest Open it up. Ritual blood level 4. Door to our front. Door to our left. Let's see. This is going to probably be a stairwell leading down, so let's take the door to our front first. And it's going to take us into what looks to be like a dark little passage. Let's have our hunter torch on so we can see what we're doing. A chest to our left as soon as we enter the room. We'll have mold. Let's switch out our fire paper for some throwing knives, because our stones are getting low. Trap. Come on, boy. Some blood vials, more blood vials. Nothing on that body, but the other two gave me a good supply of blood vials. Here we have a hidden path. Looks like the bell ringing bitch is in that area. So we'll have to leave a coin here to indicate that this is essentially where we need to leave. Or it could be that this is a side area that leads us back to the back area, so we'll at least have the key. We'll at least have the coin there to tell us, yeah, we need to go this way. So head back to the other passage and head into the room to your right before we descend down below. Grab the beast blood pellet before we do that. Entering this sort of upper area here, you'll have pretty much be a fixed path where you'll have carts blocking your stairwell access. Immediately we'll have a cleric, multiple clerics it seems. Come on, boy. Swing that goddamn stick. Come on. Not gonna swing your stick? Fine. I'll get this one to swing his stick. Neither one of them wanted to swing their stick so I could parry them, so unfortunately I'll have to just accept it what it is. Once we dispatch the clerics, we'll have the door to our right open to us, which will take us over the room we were just in that was dark as shit. Excuse. And then we will have another door to our front after we've searched around and see there's nothing here. This will open us to another room. Beast blood pellet lying at our front. To the sides here, pungent blood cocktail. And a silver beast waiting to greet us with a coffin. So we have the blood vials presented before us there. The coffin inside will hold this stunning deep sea. Maximum level 3. And what does that give us? That adds rapid poison resistance by 300%. The only time we encounter red poison resistance, similar to the poison of the regular... Basically, what the Bloodstar Beast was giving us was slow poison resistance. The rapid poison resistance would be red. In a sense, it would be rapidly trying to poison us in that fact. I've never seen the rapid poison really kill anyone, but I know that there are also the... Chikaje does rapid poison resistance. Certain types of rats do rapid poison resistance, so it depends really on what you're going for. So, but we're going to exit this right there, and we're gonna go right back in and get some great ones in sight. So we're gonna make a habit of doing this. This is handy. I like this. I'm actually kind of annoyed that I didn't see this sooner, because if I had seen this sooner, shit, can you imagine the amount of stuff I would have been able to get with all that insight? Shoot. So we're gonna go ahead and get cooking on this next tidbit. And there we go. Yeah. So once we've gotten that, we'll make our way out of this side area. A bell ringing woman rings a sinister bell. Yeah, and I'm gonna go shut her ass up. And right away, directly ahead of us, we have a cleric lying in wait, probably in overwatch of an area. So check the sides for any potential side area that may be present. On the body, to our left, 2 mold. To our right, more 2 mold. Immediately, we're going to go to our left, because that will pretty much put us on the path where we will have a mad one in front of us, which we will dispatch. And then the chest inside will hold 37 echoes from the mad one, and then blooming cold blood flower from the other one. I really like doing sneaky attacks, because it makes our job so much easier, especially when we're faced with overwhelming force. Now in this instance, we got a werewolf, so we're going to wait for the opportunity to get this one. And that's going to be some more blood echoes for us. More blood bullets, 23,000 echoes off of that enemy. Blood vials. Easy echoes with the police patient. We're approaching almost 1.5 million echoes. And here, I think we will find our bell-ringing woman. There she is. We'll get rid of her. Quiet lady. And this will in turn open up our path with this side access. It's also Madman's Knowledge on the right of the door, as well as a chest at the back of this room. Inside we'll find more ritual blood. And now we'll... Oh. We've got a mass. We've got a blood liquor, so we're gonna not have the advantage of surprise here. And she just killed us. Incredible. Wow. Okay. I can't believe she actually... That's the thing I hate about her attacks, is they're very telegraphing, where they can reach far to her left and right. Even if you manage to dodge around her, they do huge damage. So, frustrating as that may be, I mean, that's the risk you take with that. So, we're still in good position. We still got to go back and get them back. Hopefully... Okay, good. The mad one still has them, so that's what we essentially want. We want her to have them. So what we'll do is we'll do the same thing we did before. We'll slip around behind her. Avoid the werewolf. I don't want to get his attention. So, but we'll definitely visceral attack her. get our echoes back. And that will basically put us in that position. So that's good. We got our echoes back. Now we'll go over here and get our next targets by getting rid of the werewolf. Cool thing is, we don't have to go back to the Hunter's Dream for resupply. We got a fresh resupply from our death, so that's kind of a good thing. So we'll head into here, and I believe we'll have another mad one in here. Or not. I don't really want to go through the measure of dealing with them enemies again. I don't want to deal with any of those enemies. I've got what I needed, so I don't really need to. But I am definitely going to kill this bitch for that trouble she gave me. Suck it, lady. Oh, another mad one. Oh shit. Okay. Here we go. Didn't see that other mad one. She must have came down from up there. She must have been up there. So obviously now we have the door to our front. We have a looks to be a silver beast to our right here. He must have been hidden to us. He's just sitting on the floor, facing the wall, contemplating his life choices. So we'll just visceral attack him and get him out of our way. Easy blood vials. In here, we have the cleric, but we have a werewolf to our right. We want to get his attention, so let's get his attention. Come on in here, boy. Good dog. So we got easy blood vials on him. 4 more blood bullets and a fresh heal. And we're going to just walk right in here, and we're going to backstab this sucker right in the back. So after we dispatched that enemy and the werewolf with him, we'll head down before we go up. He will drop us a blooming cold blood flower. And there will be nothing pretty much here. So I think essentially the only reason I came down was for that material. But we'll go up now. And we will have a path to our left and to our right. To our right we will have patient beasts. Essentially, I'm not even going to worry about getting the extra, 6,000 echoes. I'm not even worried about it. If I can get them with a parry, great. If not, I'm not really worried about it. Get the rifle spear out, though, if we could try. I don't see any more patient beasts. So we do have a path, though, leading into the next area. And there's a patient beast right there. Really? Goddamn dog. Come here. Come here. I had that one set up, and he hit me, and he stunned me, and I ended up fucking having to finish him. So, you know what? Yeah, I was like, come here. I'm gonna fuck your ass up. Perfect setup. And he fucks it. Oh, that is so irritating. Oh, this is obviously the door that lead to the left area. Down below, I can hear we got another blood licker. We'll deal with her. Get ourselves. We'll get her sorted when we get through this part here. This looks like this would take us into this area. Another cleric beast. Come on. Here, gun. All right, dears. Have a good night. I lost patience with him. Later, dear. You get some sleep. I'll see you another time. We're gonna pull the switch and just get on with it. I lost patience trying to get that cleric. He was starting to annoy me. So what we'll do is equip our Holy Blade and see about getting this other blood licker. Let's see what face. Hopefully, she's facing a position we can exploit. Looks like it might be this one. Hopefully. Good. Slip around to her rear and just impale her, and then follow up with a heavy attack. And that'll be that. Now we can enter the next gate area. But before we do that, I think I want to go burn these echoes. I actually am making a habit where if I get this much in bulk, I am not taking the chance. I do not want to have a repeat of the previous night. So we're going to go ahead and use these echoes. And improve our power by a couple of levels, and then, I don't know, burn the rest of them, spend them. I don't give a shit. Just get them off you.
Welcome.
So, go ahead and use your channel blood echoes.
Let the echoes become your strength.
So, we will go ahead and improve. We'll go ahead and improve our blood tinge. And our endurance. And then we will go ahead and see, do we have any, okay, we do have some kin cold blood. And some Madman's Insight, as well as some Great One's Wisdom. And then we'll go out here, buy a Bloodstone chunk, because I definitely want one to improve my power. At least, well, yeah, we'll buy one. At the very least, that way I can actually improve one of my weapons. Question is, which one do I want to improve? Blade of Mercy, King. I think we'll do the Holy Moonlight Sword. That will give us 3. We'll take. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. and then we'll repair our weapon. 259, 467, 139, 227. So these have gotten some work. And we'll replenish our supplies. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get ourselves some blood bullets. Take a blood echo. Get 3 medicine. 1 lead elixir. 10 Molotovs. 2 oil urns. 1 pungent blood cocktail. 5 numbing mists. Just basically get everything you need for another roundabout hustle and bustle kind of method of this nonsense. Alright, and we'll get right back into it with the next and hopefully last. I don't think it'll be the last. I see it says level 4 depth, so maybe there will be a layer 4 Chalice dungeon. We'll see. I have to put my phone on a charger. It's gonna die if I'm not careful. Where is it? Over here. Bear with me just a moment. So, I think what we will do, though, is take advantage of this opportunity to get some easy echoes with a couple just simple kills in the nearby area. Also, I am also going to be very excited to play Blood Division in the coming few rounds because we have a new Dead Eye event that is basically enabling players to get easy headshot damage for that particular game. So if you're a Division player, now would be the good time to take advantage of the Dead Eye event that is basically going on top of the Explosive Hollywood event with the use of explosive material. So if you're a Division player, get on there and get to work. Season 7 is up, and we've got a lot of new stuff that we got to play. So some blood vials. Did he drop anything? I don't think he dropped anything. So we're just gonna move on. Head through the gate now, and we will head to our next major boss fight. I'm pretty sure we'll have another ailing, we'll have another Thumerian Elder here. Nope, it is going to be the Dark Beast Parl. Oh, you asshole! He knocked me to my death. Jesus. What a dick. Okay, whatever. What a dickhead. we have no way of knowing what exactly is on the other side when you're fighting these fuckers. So it's like such an irritation that you're like literally at a disadvantage. So we're just gonna get right to the getting around. We got to get our fire paper out. We're gonna need obviously those things in that order. So we'll definitely have the opportunity to do as such. Have our flame sprayer, and maybe we'll go ahead with the Evelyn. In this instance, we'll definitely use the Evelyn. Really, guy? I'm gonna get this fucker. I'm gonna get him. Dark Beast Parl is definitely in a contender spot for some of the toughest Chalice dungeon bosses in the game. And for good reason, because he is cheap as fuck. Much like how Yamadala, you are basically underneath his goddamn belly. And essentially, because you are underneath his belly, you have the issue of trying to get a hit on him. But the problem is you cannot really get a good angle to hit him, because the fact is ultimately he is pretty much susceptible to that very same issue Amidala is. Impossible hit angles, god-awful camera and an overtly sense of aggression, which apparently has a huge wide area of attack impacts. So it's another one of those types of bosses that has had criticism from players for being incredibly broken or poorly designed. Yeah, so we want to be careful with these drop points because obviously there's a crevice here that we essentially can't really avoid. Fucking asshole. So with that, we get the Bolt Abyssal Blood Gem and 2 Bloodstone Chunks. So essentially, it is basically just that simple in scale. So, I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, but it definitely is going to test anybody's merit, excuse me, melt. I think it's going to test anyone's merit by scale to how they can accomplish that. The Dark Beast Parl, much like the Loran Dark Beast is, Loran Dark Beast is significantly harder. Right? I mean, they are the same boss, but essentially they're named differently because of their scaling of difficulty. So, in that particular instance, that little asshole was a real nuisance. So, but once we've accomplished that, we can go ahead and pretty much move on to the next Chalice dungeon. But we're going to resupply ourselves first and foremost. So, just use the echoes you got from that fight to make the purchases of whatever items you require. And then we're going to head right into the rotted Root Chalice dungeon of Loran. Obviously, I didn't get the fetid offering because of that very same reason, because it was such a pain in the ass, and I didn't have the hair of the enemy to do it, so that's okay. We'll get around to that eventually at some point. But as soon as we get here, we'll just immediately just light our stuff and get on with our task. Obviously, we'll have a Chalice Dungeon side area to our right here. What am I doing? Torch. That's what I want. I want the torch. So let's get ourselves some throwing stones. Let's get ourselves some coins. Let's get ourselves some rope molotovs in the event we need those, and head into the fray of this area. So right away you'll have a ladder in front. We'll pursue up that. And a door directly in front of us. And immediately we will hear a nightmare. Why did I do that? Wrong button! You idiot! Head across the passage, open the chest, open this door. Obviously there's a room, there's a path that way leading to a an elevator section, so... But what we want is essentially to get this beast's attention here. So we can get an easy visceral attack. $9,000 echoes isn't really anything of mania sensibility, so... $5,000. But down here, at the lower level, I believe this will be under the path. And directly ahead of us will be another beast. Really? But over here we'll have blood vials, and then open the path. This will be the lower level area that we actually did avoid. And down here, I believe we saw or heard our nightmare. I believe it got away. It seems like it did, so we're gonna have to find that little bastard. So let's exit out, use the little cheese strategy to get that little bastard to pour in once more. Now, I bear in mind that the reason why I'm really doing a lot of these Chalice dungeons now is so that I won't have to perhaps do them in the second playthrough. I can dedicate that entirely to my time with my next play. Essentially, this cuts them out of the equation, so I won't really have to do them because I will have done everything there is to be done. But that's essentially really the only reason I'm really not doing them. So if I do them all now, I mean, yeah, it's making the playthrough run seem a little bit longer, and for good reason, because that is obviously the intended goal. Essentially, I want to get them off the table in its entirety so that I can focus my attentions and my efforts in a much more, productive fashion as that. So that's entirely the reason. I don't necessarily have to do them all this run. I could very well pick up the slack with doing them in the next run, but essentially that is my main focus and my number one reason for doing them in that respect, because essentially it just saves me time then I can get fully into the second playthrough. I can commit myself to more of the play and get through much more of the endings that essentially will enable me to sort of cap off this end result of this game in that fashion. So, entering this room, immediately a Silver Beast will be in front. Engage him. We did not intercept his attack the first time, but we did that time. He will drop 14,000 echoes. Obviously, the blood gems are pretty dismal here. But we will find a lost hunter axe in this Chalice coffin. So we're definitely going to take advantage of that and get some great ones in sight once again. So, kind of a blessing, really, to have this benefit. So what I will do in the second playthrough, though, is I will actually pull up glyph codes and start executing glyph codes to find specific runes or weapons I do not possess. Actually, you can find a lot of glyph codes to Chalice dungeons, which will take you directly to the Chalice dungeon you need to do in order to find those rewards. So I will show you how that works in the second playthrough when we get there. So upon getting our weapon and our insight, we will go about exiting the side area and making our way to the main path leading us up to the next and first major Chalice area. First things, though, is I want to explore this upper pathway up here, which you didn't get to check that out yet. This is obviously another path we could take. We only went down that path because it was pretty much evident that it took us to our prize. So what we will do is come here, and inside we will encounter a ghoulie. And easy takedown. And in here, another ghoulie. Come on, boy, get up. And another visceral attack. And it looks like we got multiple beasts. So we're just gonna dispatch them and make good with getting some of the rewards in this area. So upon returning back to our main path, we will head down the ladder, out the way we came from the side area, and then proceed forward into the first Chalice dungeon lair. Not to our left, but to our right. Upon entering this chamber here, we will find multiple beast patients. I'm just going to go ahead and cut our way through them, not worried about echoes. But we can hear we have an eye collector summoning phantoms. Both below us, it seems, and in this area. Go on, you. Come on, you fucking... Doesn't feel too good to have your stun locked. Asshole does it. I had a perfect visceral attack, and again, it got fucked up because of some other asshole behind me who wanted to be a cutie pie. I seem to have an easier time visceral attacking the female versions of the patients than I do the males, it seems. So essentially what we're going to want to do here is, I don't really want to get caught up in the fight with these guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically do the old long-range assault strategy. So we'll essentially take bone marrow ash and use our monocular to do some serious damage to this bitch. She obviously got us with a cheap little spell that apparently has done nothing but piss us off. But as you can see, the mad one came over to run to her defense like, ooh, who hurt you? So we'll do it again. So essentially, you pretty much can see that, you know, having the benefits of those is actually quite nice. The monocular is not a tool, I think, that gets much in the way. I don't think it gets enough credit as it should, in my opinion. Over here, the witch will drop a fire damp blood gem, and we will be going into the corridor at the back behind the cart of coffins. Get the dog out of your way. Switch over to the saw spear, because we definitely want that. Oh, more mad ones. Essentially, I think what we want to use here is probably going to be the Beast Scream, the Beast Roar. Now, this will take two Quicksilver bullets at a time, but I think this will actually knock them back. I'm not sure. We're going to test it and see what we get. So let's hope for the best. And it actually did really well. That was actually a very handy weapon. So in this instance, a Beast Roar will actually give them enough, will damage them enough to where it will do a significant amount of damage to force them backwards and keep them at bay, at least in that particular instance. But again, it takes 2 Quicksilver bullets each time to use. Thankfully, I used it twice. So, but that opens up a path there, which we will use to get out. So, obviously, not really sure. How does that work? We just went down this path, didn't we? Oh no, this is the way out. Okay, all right. I got a little topsy-turvy there for a minute. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. The path is over there. It leads up and around, and then out we came there. So, okay, now that makes sense. I get it now. So what we'll do is we'll head back through the same passage. I believe there was another path we could have taken, so we're going to see if we can find it. Obviously, this is a stairwell leading up. And here it is, to our left. Grab the Quicksilver bullets on the body. And we have a Loran Silver Beast in the corner, facing the wall again, having a contemplative moment. Seems to be like his regular staple. So, easy work for us with a visceral attack. And 2 blood vials. Seems like it's weird how we can never get up on the right. I wonder if we can approach it from the left next time. Maybe we'll get a chance to see if we can do it that way. Because I think you can slip behind him. It's just very difficult. For whatever reason, I guess his head is lopsided to the left, so his eyes are facing that direction. So maybe we could probably try approaching from the left path instead of the right next time. So get the blood vials over here. And they'll head on back to the main gate. Oh, over here. Blood vials on the body to the right. We actually missed that. So we'll head down this path now that we originally came into. The gate leading out will be to our left. And our first boss battle will be ahead of us. And it will be a Keeper of the Old Lord. So we will change our outfit to the Charred Hunter set and get this guy going. Enough with your magic stuff. Bam. Another one. Did not want it to finish like that, but he apparently he He gypped me. He gypped me the echoes I was going to get with a visceral attack, but I did not want it to finish like that. So, I mean, he clearly wanted to, like, oh, made you look, kind of me moment there. Fucking dick. So once we dispatched him, head down the ladder after you light the lantern and take the elevator down. And head into the next Chalice dungeon layer depth with layer 2. Light the lantern. The path will be in the area in the next area. Across this passage, cavernous passage here. Immediately notice that we have witches here. One on the right, and more than likely there will be more to come. In this particular instance, with the Rotted Chalice Dungeon offering, we obviously have to contend with witches. Ugly fuckers. So after we dispatch the witch, she will drop us some pebbles, and then whatever those fuckers give us in the long term. Head on into the tunnel below us. A rat will be in our way. Dispatch that. More witches. Jesus. And then in the back here, we'll have a chest crate, stone coffin, whatever, with sage hair inside it. A bolt damp blood gem will also be what she drops. And that will be the end of that witch in this area. So head down the tunnel again. Obviously, we would dispatch the witches to the right. We dispatch the witch in the tunnel. Now it's just left with these beasts and this ladder access that probably will take us directly to our necessary switch to get into the next area. Come on, dog. Another cave to our right. That was just beyond and a werewolf. Come on. You want the smoke or not? Fire damp blood gem. Another werewolf down. I feel like such a bully throwing stones at them, but it's the only way I can get their attention. And a fire damn blood gem. These gemstones are not really powerful, but that's partly because of the fact that we have just the rotted offering, not the fetid offering. So we got dogs in here that we can hear. Go ahead and leave some coins to show that that is our way out. Obviously, that will be a hidden path. Perhaps that we will only find if we go up into this area. So, oh no, dogs are right here. Once we dispatch that dog, we will open up the path, and this will lead us out into this little catwalk area, into this next room, where we will find a silver beast guarding a switch. Get his attention, intercept him, visceral him, pull the switch, we're out of here. And he will drop us some blood vials, as well as this body over here to our left at the room's entrance. There will be 2 oil urns. So, double back the way you came. Head out the door and just go on, descend the ladder. And then you're gonna go to that land. You want to go to that ladder directly further down from us. And we will go ahead and get this door open. Side area to our right, or no, left, excuse me. If you're gonna hit me, buddy. Then we're going to take the ladder up. And there will be a door directly across from our position. Enter that room. Obviously, there'll be base patients lying in wait. I can hear them. The body on the balcony will have 2 blood vials. Before we go down, let's search up here. A chest inside our vicinity will have 3-2 mold, level 4, and then we will have what looks to be like a passage leading into another room. Nope, actually it is a bridge cavern leading into a room with an undead giant. 2 undead giants, one with a cannon and one with sickles. So we will navigate our way across here. I think the first thing we'll do is we'll dispatch this undead giant here. So let's get our poison knives out. Essentially, we can't really throw any more knives at him until he comes in the vicinity, so we'll have to wait until he comes back around into a targeting area. I mean, we could do the reticle, but you can't really aim it down, which is the downside of using the reticle. It doesn't really have a lot of freedom of a free range of movement. So we'll just stick to this. But he's poisoned, so that'll do some damage to him over time, which will leave him and continue on with exploring this upper area up here first. Which isn't going to be very far, because it looks like it takes us to a dead end. Oh, blood vials. So it takes about 8 knives, maybe 7, to poison an undead giant. But as you can see, the damage isn't really significant, and the status effects of it on the giant doesn't exactly last very long. But for me, I think it's just enough to where it will soften him up for an encounter, making my job just marginally easier. Not huge amounts, but enough. So here we have our door leading in, perhaps to the cavern. Doesn't look like it. But we have Frenzy Cold Blood, and we have Blood Vials as well. And a damn sneaky-ass Patient Beast. Getting a cheap hit on us. More Blood Vials as we enter the area, as well as a Pungent Blood Cocktail. But here, out here, we have a balcony of wood scaffolding with a path leading around, so... Oh, we have 3 giants. Well, that is curiously different. So, we're going to definitely need something with a little bit more oomph. So, we'll deal with some of these enemies here. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to definitely need something with a little bit more strength. So we're definitely going to go with Ludwig's Holy Blade, and we're going to definitely need probably some bolt paper and some fire paper, because this is definitely something I was not expecting. 2 is one thing, but I didn't expect to find 3. So, but I'm not sweating it. We'll get through it. First thing we'll do is we'll immediately attempt to find which one has been softened the worst and go from there. So my battery on my headset's getting low. So I'm probably going to take a couple more hits out of these guys, and then I'll probably move on to probably just calling the stream right there. I did not get to the ECU Chalice dungeon like I wanted, so I mean, but you know, you get some, you get what you get, and unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get that far. So we'll basically just go from there. So, that pretty much is taking care of that. And now basically we'll make our way around, grabbing whatever resources we can. This is pretty much the ladder leading us up to the upper level of this area up here. So essentially we just want to go over here to grab this one resource over here. Which is blood vials. And then over here in this vicinity we will have a resource. Oil urns. Over here we have some... Let's get this asshole out of our way. So here we have another door leading inward. See what's inside here. Hopefully my battery holds up, because I really do not want to run the risk of missing out on anything. So here it looks like we have multiple ghoulies. Come on! God damn it! You guys are gonna fucking piss me off. Once we get rid of those dickheads, we'll get the chest cloth, the coffin open, Sage's hair 3. Essentially, you could probably just run some of these Chalice dungeons and you don't even need the offerings until you get the necessary requirements from doing them the first time without the offerings. Then you can start getting them. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of Sage's hair now. So I may actually set up another dungeon where I could navigate this and get into it and just do it that way, but I haven't really made up my mind yet. We'll see. But after we've navigated that, we're going to head down this tunnel here, which is probably going to take us to our next major prize in the form of that coffin over there, protected by the cleric. We got the plungent blood cocktail. Come on, guy. Stop playing patsy with me. Let's go. Of course, he stuns me. But I stunned him. Note to self, use the pistol if you want to visceral attack these guys, because it seems like the rifle spear doesn't really seem to keep you from getting knocked on your ass. So, open the coffin. And inside we will find some cold blood flower bulb. I'm not entirely sure if we get the benefit of that with the insight exploit. Let's find out. I want to see if we get lucky enough and get the exploit of that. Because that would be a boon if that was lucky. So we'll go ahead and head into the continuing map. Let's see. Oh, doesn't look like it. So that's unfortunate, but at least now I know. It only seems to work really with weapons and runes. So I now know that is the case. So now we're going to head back the way we came. through the side area that we exploited. We obviously had a shortcut back there that we opened up. We don't really need to really worry about it so much because we have it now. And we're going to get ourselves to our next Chalice dungeon boss and then make our way back to the Hunter's Nightmare. My controller needs to charge, my headset needs to charge, and I think we're well and truly past our 3-hour marker. So I was hoping to get to the ECU Chalice dungeon, but you know, we didn't get that far. Kind of a bit disappointed, but unfortunately that's just one of the circumstances of things you don't have all the time that you think you do. An undead giant with a club. Oh joy. Oof, that hurt. You want to watch out for those chains. Apparently do huge amounts of damage, which is a very cheap thing, but ultimately that's the best strategy you can have, is to get close enough to where you can't hit them. You want to do hit and run tactics. 1-2, 1-2. Ooh, that hurt. And that's it. The undead giant has given us one bloodstone chunk and an adept blood gemstone. So, very pleased with that. Pretty happy with that. So, we're going to head back to the Hunter's Dream now. Burn our echoes. And then pretty much just call it right there for now. I'm not really unhappy. I'm just not satisfied that we didn't get to the ECU Chalice dungeon.
Good hunter.
I mean, but we're on our way. We got through 1, 2, almost 3 Chalice dungeons. So,
Very well.
so let's go ahead and give see what kind of elements of strength we can get from this. We'll go ahead and raise probably our arcane. Can we raise it higher than that? No, not really. We'll raise our blood tinge and we'll raise our arcane. Next time I'll do my strength. And then we'll also purchase resources that we have used. So obviously we used 5 throwing knives, 8 poison knives, 16... Well, I'm not going to buy any pebbles. What the hell am I wasting money on that for? I can get more from the witches. And... pretty much that will pretty much, capture the gist of that. We will upgrade one weapon, though. I think we have enough for one. We can repair weapons, but I will upgrade one weapon because I think we have enough bloodstone chunks to do the job. So yes, we do. So what are we gonna do? I think I really want to go with the threaded cane. So no, that's a what am I? Fortify. No, okay, here we go. I don't really have enough yet for a threaded cane upgrade, but I do have enough for a holy blade. I'll probably do the moonlight holy blade upgrade. So we'll go ahead and upgrade that. So all things considered, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not satisfied though, because ultimately I was hoping to do a lot more than what we did. So we got through the absurdly frustrating Loran route Chalice dungeon with fetid and rotted offerings. We got through the cursed. We got through the sinister Loran Chalice dungeon, and now we're on our way to the lower Loran route Chalice dungeon with a rotted offering, not so much a fetid offering. But you know what? I want to see if I could set one up. I want to see if I can set one up. Lower Loran. Ailing Loran. That's what I want. Ailing Loran. So we're going to set another one of these up just for this purpose. Essentially, for that reason alone. So we've set up another Chalice dungeon for that particular purpose in that fashion. The only thing we haven't really been able to we can't really set it up as of yet, which we probably will eventually at some point when we have this item in question. I need to look up where I can get yellow backbone though, so I can get a general idea of where to look, because we can't really do this Chalice dungeon until we have the yellow backbone. But we will be doing the Great Isu Chalice dungeon the next time. Matter of fact, I will take the liberty of purchasing a Pearl Slug as of right now from the Messenger Bath. So we have 0 to our name. So we're going to buy 3 right there with 9 insight. So just to make sure we have it for the sake of it, because I want to make sure we're ready for it the next time we do go about trying to do it. So, and that is pretty much going to be it. That is pretty much everything we could hope to achieve, at least in that scope of frame. Like I said, I'm not unhappy. I'm just unsatisfied because I really wanted to continue more of that. But for right now, I'll take a break on this. At least until I have the sensibilities to continue with getting more materials along the way. Obviously, I need to look up when. Matter of fact, I'll actually pull it up and I'll do a little bit of reading when I'm off stream to find out where I get the yellow bone. And then I will probably set up a Chalice dungeon separate from the stream and perhaps explore getting about that material per quest, because I definitely need it. And if I hope to get it, I'm going to need to have that. Especially if I'm going to open up that Chalice dungeon in this question. So let's go ahead and get that pretty much done. So that being said, that is going to be it for the stream, guys. Hopefully this will post. I'm a little bit miffed that it didn't post the first time, but we kind of didn't really we kind of didn't really expect it to really do that in the fashion that it did. So, so far it looks like the stream has had no issues so far. So hopefully this will post without incident or issue. And we will get on with that in that capacity. So thank you very much for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe. Comment any questions you have below, and I will do my best to answer them. If you have any input or advice, I would be object to that too, because I know there's probably a few. I know there's a few instances where there's things I don't know that maybe I'm missing. Maybe you could remind me. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in. I am Savage Squishy 86, and this is our live stream coverage of Bloodborne, which I will see you when we continue it next time. Have a good night, guys, and enjoy your weekend.